This is the story of how I beat the Bangcock level in Hitman in 5 minutes with only my fists. Also, this was on Master Mode. Our story begins on the docks of a fancy hotel. I immediately scouted the area for my 2 targets on this mission, who are the rock star Jordan Cross and his lawyer Ken Morgan. After using 47's instinct ability, I was happy to find that Ken Morgan happened to be nearby. Cross was in the upper levels of the hotel though. Upon closer inspection, I found that Morgan was under the supervision of one guard, and there were several other security guards in the area, so confronting him right away would be dangerous, especially on Master Mode, but I am not one for restraint, so I decked the man before slamming his security guard's face into a nearby counter before returning to Morgan's neck for a nice and soft massage. Realizing that I now had to escape the situation, I headed up a nearby flight of stairs as the restaurant floor behind me devolved into chaos. I then turned through a hallway occupied by 2 guards. Remember these as they will come up later, before running up another few flights of stairs and then making my way outside onto a glass greenhouse roof area. Here I dodged a few guards before making my way into Cross's side of the hotel. I was now in a closed area in which most were suspicious of me, so I needed a disguise and I needed it fast. After dipping into a room, I found a lone crew member who probably works for Cross, and so he got what he deserved. After stealing his clothes, I was able to much more easily move through the hotel, but many were still suspicious of me. I eventually came across Cross in a penthouse-like area, with guards everywhere, so I decided to bide my time and look for a better place for assassination. After walking with the star for a while, we eventually made our way into a recording booth where I finally was forced to take him out as those around me became suspicious. I then attempted to escape, jumping out a window and then to a pipe before sliding down to the 2nd level of the hotel from the 4th. The issue now was that I was stuck on the 2nd level, which does not have access to the glass greenhouse area I had used to make my way over to Cross's section of the hotel. Horrified, I made my way up to the 3rd level where I was unfortunately shot dead. On my first attempt, I had managed to eliminate both of my targets in about 7-ish minutes. Was this my insane Hitman fist-only skills showing, or was it more about luck? Instead of approaching this like all of my previous Hitman fist-only attempts, I decided to try to beat the level as fast as I could. Now, I'm sure that many of you and many other people have done this much faster than I, but here is where my story really begins. So it is important to remember the steps that I took in the first run before attempting to go over some of the strategies I developed to eventually beat this challenge. After spawning on the docks, I ran into the restaurant where I took out Morgan in front of his guard and several others before running up some stairs and through a hallway with 2 more guards. I then ran across the roof, entered Cross's section of the hotel, stole a crew uniform, and killed Cross. I needed to complete all these steps and somehow managed to escape. So how could we speed up the first step, as this was one of the longest steps? I first tried to replicate my previous success, but this did not work very well as I mainly died to the guards immediately around Morgan, or if I did get away, the guards in the hallway above would take care of me. There was another option though, one that happened to be much faster. Morgan does not start inside of the restaurant. Instead, he can be found around the corner of the restaurant where he is talking with his security guard. Now, the area was somewhat secluded, but there was one guard right next to it who I will call Bob. Another security guard was positioned behind Bob. We'll call that one Bill. So anyways, Bill and Bob, why are they important? Well, Bob is close enough that if I punch Morgan in the face while he is talking to the security guard, or I punch the security guard first, Bob will hear. If Bob then fires a shot, Bill will hear, joining the combat and putting me into a situation that is hard to escape from. I experimented with several different strategies. However, these were fairly non-consistent, as after hearing me, Bob was often unpredictable. Sometimes he would run away, but sometimes he would attack me immediately. My 2 main strategies to get past this point became changing into the security guard's outfit if Bob lost line of sight on me, and otherwise I would try to sneak past Bob and Bill, which was much less effective. The least effective strategy I tried was attacking Bill and Bob, but many of the other guards would come to the area and quickly take me out. Alright, with the strategy for this portion finished, let's talk about getting over to Cross's section of the hotel. The only thing here to talk about really is not messing up running past a bunch of guards as I go up the stairs and through the greenhouse. It then turns into a stealth game for a bit to get to the crew guy who shall henceforth be known as Barrett. There were 2 main important things to achieve in this section. One was that if I began to attract the attention of crew members or guards, to just keep running. The guards would not open fire right away, and sometimes the people suspicious of me would simply lose interest. And so it was much more important to just get to the room with Barrett. The other important thing here was to strangle Barrett from behind instead of punching him in the face, because if I did not, the other crew members in the room would hear the struggle and come in. Now that I had the uniform figured out, the last thing was Cross. Cross is on the very top floor of the hotel and would try to enter an enclosed glass area if I did not manage to get to him fast enough. This was bad, as inside the glass area there were many guards, and after leaving it he would walk downstairs into a room with even more guards. So I had to take him out before he went into his glass house for the best results. All of this planning finally led up to my final final attempt. I started by jogging over to Morgan, punching the man in the face before knocking down his security guard before he could fire a shot. Bob heard the commotion and I was forced to engage him in combat. While this was happening, Bill started to shoot as well. In the chaos, I managed to knock out Bob and the security guard as well as snapping Morgan's neck. I finally ran into some luck when Billy suddenly turned away, giving me an opportunity to change into Bob's clothes before running past him, the hall guards, up the stairs across the roof until I was behind Barrett. After switching my outfit, I quickly made my way up to Cross, ignoring the constant suspicions that were activating around me. I had made it in time and choked Cross out before hiding in a nearby room. Now, in the moment, I knew that this was the best run I had done so far, and my luck came through once again when a lone security guard wandered into my room. After taking his outfit, I retraced my steps and made my escape. And that is how I beat a Hitman level in 5 minutes and 6 seconds with only my fists.